sweet and caring, not cold and calculated. You can't be trusted. You want the world for your own. You want maximum profit. You lost perspective.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone. KWTN 100.9 FM. It is time for Winnebago Talks. How are we doing with the music?
Very lovely. We could probably bring our background music down a little bit,
Okay. How's that?
but lovely.
Okay.
We are here for Winnebago Talks. I am DJ Bethani Redhorn, the Winnebago Communications Officer, and
Good morning. I'm Brian Chamberlain, editor for the Winnebago Indian News, and I am also MCBKC here at KWTN 100.9 FM.
yes, and so we are actually joined here in the studio by a special guest. So we'll get to her introduction and everything momentarily. We'll run through some of our updates that we usually get into.
Yes.
And so I'll hand over the reins to you to talk about the Winnebago Indian News.
Yes, as you know, we are getting ready for our next issue to be coming out on Saturday. And so if you have any information or any announcements, anything that you need to place into the Winnebago Indian News, you have until the close of business today. You can get a hold of myself or Tyler, Tyler, tyler.snake@winnebagotribe.com, and submit whatever it is that you need to have put in, and we will do our level best to get it put into there. But as you know, the Winnebago Indian News is a bi-weekly publication of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. We cover all issues related to and among the Winnebago Tribe, the Winnebago people, and we do our best to make sure that we're providing as much coverage as possible with all the things that happen in and around Winnebago, and also that happen to affect the tribal membership overall. So we also do have a online version which is downloadable if you go to the Winnebago Tribe's website. That's winnebagotribe.com. You will see the news tab, and you can just go to that and download it and view at your pleasure from anywhere in the world. And then, of course, again, if you or your relatives want to receive the print version, you can also get a hold of Tyler, tyler.snake@winnebagotribe.com. Update your addresses or add your addresses, and if they want to get it, have your family members' addresses, and we will add them into the list, so the next time around they will be good to go.
I
So-
like that little turning page noise that it makes.
Yeah, it's very interactive, and everything that is in the current issue of the Win is on the website, as well as the archived issues going back a number of years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So you can also see the stories that are happening in and around Winnebago, the important announcements, some advertising, Winnebago Tribal Council minutes. We've also now become the resource for the Winnebago Public School Board of School Board. That's what they're called. And they print their minutes in the Winnebago Indian News now as well.
Awesome. So that is the Winnebago Indian News, and don't forget that deadline. You said it was today?
Yes, today close of business for the next issue coming out on Saturday.
Awesome. And so we are going to get into our first guest here. And so I also wanted to, I know DJ Guaranteed usually runs through
Yes.
what we're going to get into. So let me rewind a little bit. I'm just
Okay,
eager.
that's fine.
But we usually get into some updates. So we had our Win updates. Some of the big voice updates are that we have our regular programming that we get into every week. So we have the Big Hour, we have Winnebago Talks, we have the Big Boy Sports Talk Show, which is in a bye-week this week. So you can join them next Wednesday, next week, for a new episode. All Request Live, we'll have that top 5 coming out soon. And then we also have Res Ride with MCBKC. We have Baby Bison Beats, Friday Night Hot Mix with DJ Blue, and Midnight Love. And so make sure you stay tuned with us. That's throughout the week, Monday through Friday. And we also had a recent watch party at the big screen, so we can talk about that too. But
Yes.
we have our special guest here in the studio. And so I do appreciate her coming down to join us. They have an event coming up this weekend, so we'll get into her introduction. And
Right
so-
into the microphone.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Yes. Oh, wait, 1 second, Anna.
Go
Get
ahead.
you.
Which one is it?
It would be 4.
Okay.
Go
She's
ahead,
on.
Anna. Am I good?
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you guys for having me. My name is Anna Harlan. I'm from the Sioux City area. I'm currently a senior at the University of South Dakota, and I'm Omaha. My family I come from Raymond and Elizabeth Harlan. They are my great-grandparents, and my parents are Chris and Jessica Harlan.
Okay, Chris and Jessica. And so Anna came down to talk about an upcoming powwow this weekend. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so with that, could you kind of give us some of the details about when they can expect this event to take place, and then we can kind of talk about some of the background.
Okay, so I'm a part of a student organization on campus, and I serve as the co-president. The organization is called Tioshbai Student Council, which began in 1972, I believe. So every year, we're dedicated to hosting the annual Wachipi or powwow, and it's been going for this is the 51st year, so we've been going strong.
Heck yes. And so this is going to take place up in Vermilion?
So it'll be at the Sanford Coyote Sports Center, so that's right next to the dome. I'm not too sure of the address, but I'm sure if you Google Maps it, you can find it really easy. But it's located right off of Highway 20, so once you come into Vermilion, you'll just go west.
Okay.
Yes, essentially. So if you go to Vermilion, just follow the Indians.
Yeah.
Pretty much, and you'll get there. But at the same time, no, this is a really good powwow, and it happens every year. And like what you mentioned, I didn't realize it was that many years, 51 years. My daughter was actually one of the princesses many years ago for this celebration.
I remember you shared that with
Yep,
us.
so we are quite familiar with that, and we usually try to attend, and it's always a good time. So if you have the availability this coming weekend, head on up to Vermilion for this powwow. It's a good time. It really is.
I have not ever been to this powwow before, so I might have to check it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff that happens, and it's been in different locations as well. It hasn't always been in the same place. So this new location, is this the first year it's there?
No, but
Okay.
you are correct. We've had it in different locations.
Yeah.
Some years it's been outside. Some years it's been in different buildings, but most recently it's within the last few years it's been in the.
Because we didn't go last year, so
Sports Center.
yeah. So if it's in a new spot, but at the same time, it's always there's usually a nice large area. I remember a few times they actually had it in the dome. Even though that was a huge facility, the sound acoustics didn't work. The echo that happens when the drums are singing.
Oh, yeah.
Really,
Bouncing
really,
back.
made it even almost impossible for the dancers to kind of keep track because there was a very severe echo. So the dome is a nice facility, huge facility, of course, plenty of seating and parking and all that kind of stuff, but it is not acoustically wonderful, especially for a powwow drum. So
that's why we're next door now.
yeah, so that's why they're at the Sizzler. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's always a good time. So do they still do a princess contest?
Yep. So we have our princess contest. It's usually held on the Sunday of Wachipi, but this year I believe all 3 categories are having a special. So make sure to look out for that. But how to apply to be a princess? You just go to our website. You scroll down and you should find the application. You just download it, print it off, and give it to us on Sunday, or you can just email it to us at our email tioshbai@coyotes.usd.edu.
So if somebody wants to actually find this information online, where should they go for that?
So we have our Facebook page under USD Native Student Services. Our current Tioshbai Student Council Facebook isn't working, so you can find all our information there, or else you can visit our website, usd.edu/wachipi.
Okay. A lot of people, they either plan on going or they're, hey, let's go. It's kind of
Like a
one of
last
those,
minute.
yeah, one of those things, or either that there's, I just now heard about that and stuff like that. But the powwow trail for 2025 is on its way.
Yeah.
And this is definitely one of the stops because, like I said, you have a lot of dancers coming from a lot of different places. Of course, the local talent, as I like to call it, they always make their appearances. But those that are hitting the powwow trail, the USD powwow is always one that is a good stop along the way.
It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend this weekend, too.
Yeah, it really is. So maybe they'll move it outside. No, just kidding. Already going to start rumors and whatever. Say, so, but no, it is. It's really supposed to be a beautiful, beautiful weekend. So definitely have the ability to travel safely, because I think it's actually going to be in the mid to upper 70s each of the
Wow.
days. Yeah, and it's supposed to be totally gorgeous. And so the 51st annual Wachipi, I say it that way, with the USD Teoshpe Student Council, and in cooperation with the University of South Dakota Vermilion. All right.
So then Anna had mentioned to me when we were scrolling around looking at some of the links that we'd be bringing up today, and she said they put out a new video. And so I wanted to kind of show
okay,
that.
cool.
And
Sure.
so let me...
Does it have sound?
Yes, I believe so.
So when you do, I'll bring the music down, and
Okay.
so you can hear everything with it. So, yep, it's a nice thing. I actually remember seeing this a couple weeks ago.
The video.
No, the
Or the
announcement
announcement?
for the poster and stuff. Because like I said, it's one that we frequent. We didn't get to make it last year. I don't remember why. I don't know what something came up or whatever. But we usually try to go, at least one of the days and whatever and stuff. So, and then also, our granddaughters, they're starting to dance and getting into it as well. And like I said, it's a really, really good time. So, are you ready?
I'm not yet.
Not yet?
Just pulling
Okay.
up. But I do know, as I mentioned, we will be joined by DJ Guaranteed, who I can see virtually. He's in the corner right now. Or he's in the waiting room.
Hiding in the corner?
No, but this thing's loading, so sorry. Bear with
Okay.
me.
No worries, no worries. So also, you said you were a senior at USD, and did you say where you're from?
Let's see. I'm originally from Sergeant Bluff, so I
Oh,
grew up in
okay.
the area. My family has moved to Sloan, so grew up in that area.
Okay.
Living in Vermilion right now.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people from Sergeant Bluff, and of course, everyone knows everyone in Sloan. No, just kidding. I'm always kind of surprised. Sloan is a little bit larger than what most people realize. It's not like downtown Sioux City or nothing like that, or Omaha, but it's a bigger place. And plus, they've added in a few businesses in recent years, etc. Because way back in the day, when Winnebago first opened, because of course that's when most Winnebago people started paying attention. Hey, where's Sloan? I don't know. And then it's like right over there. There was not much there, and so the town itself has grown, and I know that now they have that several like gas stations.
Oh,
They
yep,
have
yep.
They did have a couple restaurants. And then I know that they have Dollar General now, and of course their high school. I think isn't that Westwood?
Yes.
Yeah. And so Sloan definitely has a lot there. And then the other side of that too, while you're loading and stuff like that, recently the I-29 exit to get to Winnebago was closed for construction. So all of the traffic had to come either down or north through Highway 75, which is the old way to get from Sioux City to Omaha, or Omaha to Sioux City. And that highway is still very passable, but it's like, 2-lane, and it's just kind of strange and stuff like that. So
I don't think I've seen it yet
yeah,
with the new construction.
yeah. So
Well, I'm ready.
All
So
right.
we'll bring this
Hey guys,
up.
welcome to the Knack.
and
Hey, thanks.
maximize.
Question for you. Yeah, what's up? What is a wachipi?
A wachipi is a social gathering and a celebration that honors singing, dancing, and traditions.
Why is it called a wachipi instead of a powwow?
It's called a wachipi because it pays respect to the language of the Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota people. Hey Taya. Hi Kylie.
Can you guys hear?
What is the origin and history of the wachipi?
The origin of the wachipi originates from the Omaha Nation, and the first one at USD started in 1971.
Where is it located?
The Wachipi is located at the Sanford Coyote Sports Center, which is right next to the Dome.
And can anyone attend?
Yeah, anybody who wants to celebrate and honor Native culture.
Is it free to come or do I pay to attend?
General admission is free and everyone is welcome.
And how long does it last?
It lasts for 2 days, April 12th and 13th. Grand entries are at 1 and 7 p.m. and 1 p.m. on Sunday.
What if I can't make the whole thing? Is it okay for me to just come to part of it?
Yep, you can come to any part of it, but you don't want to miss grand entry.
Is there a dress code or what do I wear?
Nope, no dress code at all. Just wear whatever you feel comfortable in.
And will there be vendors there?
Yes, there will be over 30 plus vendors. Some include handmade jewelry, handmade clothing, educational vendors, and so much more.
And what about food? Will there be food there?
There will be a community feed on Saturday at 5 p.m.
And what are the rules of the Wapaha, aka Teoshbe Student Council?
The Wapaha is a collective of students that come together to promote and recognize Native American cultures while also hosting the annual GP.
And what is the significance of the regalia worn by participants?
It has a deep cultural and spiritual significance for Native Americans. The different colors and patterns have different meanings and are chosen to honor our ancestors and traditions.
And what is the significance of the traditional drum?
Yeah, so the drum is a sacred instrument that is often represented as a heartbeat of our community.
Okay, and what are the different types of dances?
We have 3 types of dances. We have jingle, fancy, and traditional.
Are they competing or is this just for tradition?
While dancers can compete for an honorarium, ultimately it's a celebration of community and culture.
And if someone's never attended a Wachipi before, what should they expect?
You can expect a weekend of dancing, singing, arts and crafts, and fun.
Is it okay to take photos and videos?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to take photos of grand entry in the arena floor, but always ask for permission when photographing individuals.
So how can I show respect while attending the Wachipi?
All we ask is that you be respectful to the singers, dancers, staff, and everyone around you and be present in the moment.
And is it okay to clap or cheer?
Yes, you are welcome to clap and cheer, preferably during the dances, not at the end.
Oh, nice, okay. And what's the most memorable moment you've had at past Wachipi?
I think my most memorable moment was my first USD Wachipi, making the official artwork for the t-shirts and stuff. It was definitely an honor.
Nice. So what does being a part of the 51st Wachipi mean to you?
I think for all of us, it's a huge deal keeping this tradition going strong and creating a really awesome team. Join us at the 51st Annual Wachipi!
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's a nice video. You know, really put it together well. So, all right, where's my music? How come it's not coming back? It's the wrong one. That's
I was like, it froze.
No, it was just using the one that said music that we usually do for the radio shows. So sorry.
So Anna, I had we were running through that, and then in the past I know that we were able to hear it in our headphones, but me and Garan tried something different with being able to have him join us remotely, and so the audio cable's plugged in over there, and I couldn't hear it. I'm glad you guys could hear it though.
Oh yeah.
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 And so one thing I wanted to ask you, I was looking at the comments from our listeners, and one of the viewers out there had asked, what's your area of study up at USD?
So what I'm studying is health sciences and public health. So really interested in public health and looking forward to learning more. And that's what I kind of want to do after I graduate.
Awesome. All right, Anna.
It's a pretty wide and diverse field. You know, there's a lot of stuff there. I was recently having a conversation, you know, where you're talking about public health, where because of the recent changes in the administration, a lot of things are going to be threatened, simply not just because of funding and those type of things, but with the essentially the shuttering of the CDC. Diseases like the bird flu, which affected egg prices and food prices and all this kind of stuff, they're basically going untracked once more. And so while, of course, that's not necessarily the only type of public health scenario that there is, people need to be aware that those types of changes do have a significant impact on the lives of individual citizens and people.
Yes.
Because the eggs didn't just magically jump to $9 a dozen for no reason. And so now no one's watching at all.
Very much so. But we do have Garan who wants to come on here remotely.
Is he able
so
to?
I think can you give us a check 1, 2?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Little bit quiet there on Garen's end, but
You might have to turn that volume up on the area, but here.
How about
First
now?
time we're trying this, so we're trying something new here, guys.
it's okay.
Okay, all right.
So we can hear you.
So that microphone to the Let's see here. Which one was that, Bethany? I think.
We had it plugged into the headphone jack.
Okay, so you guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. And then let the comments know if they can hear me and stuff. Let me know. Anyways, so down here at Phoenix, Arizona, we're at the Gala River Casino for the Tribal Self-Governance Conference. And with the from USD.
You kind of broke up there a little bit.
Yeah, your signal's breaking up.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So from USD, is it Anna?
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. I just had a couple questions and stuff. With the, it's very admirable that you guys are pursuing. I just seen yesterday that Iowa City, their student organization, isn't going to be able to have their powwow. Has any of the administration or anything like that affected you guys in any way?
No, not that I know of, which we're really thankful for. But no, I haven't heard anything, so fingers crossed we don't have to change anything.
Definitely. I appreciate that. And I know that there's other powwow organizations that they're going to have their powwows coming up. UNO is going to have theirs. UNL, I seen, is going to have yours, and the USD. So it's very cool. I know that coming down to the finish line, finals are coming up, things like that, and it's a very busy season for you guys. You guys been working hard. Encourage you guys to keep going. I know that I have the best of memories going to USD powwow. I remember the MC was Dr. Evans for a long time, and we would USD powwow was the first powwow that we would go, and after Denver March would be like the start of the powwow season, which was really cool. And then one time I had a couple years in a row with Isaac Yellowbank. He brought me in to be the arena director, worked with the MC then, and then I think Preston Cleveland, he was the drum keeper. It was really cool, working with the student organizations and stuff. And myself, I went to college at Wayne State, and very, very cool. We didn't really have a powwow, so I know how hard it is to work with those powwows and stuff. And then you coming down to the studio, we appreciate that. I think that's, we're trying to get a lot of people from the area. We kind of service the Siouxland area, Winnebago, Macy. So hopefully you get a good turnout. Appreciate taking the time out of your classes and coming down and stuff. But yeah, Bethany will take care of you. I think that we'll put the graphic on the big screen and kind of go from there. But the conference that I'm attending now is called the Tribal Self-Governance Conference. And what it is basically if a tribe wanted to assume, what we did is at one time the Winnebago Hospital was IHS, Indian Health Service. And then in 2000, probably about 5-6 years ago, the Winnebago tribe assumed operations of it. And so they 638, and then there's other areas that we want to do that. I think one of the things that the tribe and the council is looking for is law enforcement and to assume the operations for that. So very cool. There's a lot of attendance here, and you can see that it's pretty cool that it's very hot. Some of the events that we have are outside. Kind of maybe take you guys around here if I can put my camera. Hold up one second, guys, and then if you guys have any questions, we'll get into it. Back dual camera. This is our first time trying this, so it's pretty cool. All right, so here we go. Grand tour. If you just kind of look around here, there's tribal self-governance right there. Then there's some of the people that I know over there. I think that's our chairwoman, Billy and Brittany Callan. They had last night. They had a real cool kind of what they call them movie native shorts, and it's kind of like they call this the event lawn, and everybody's gearing up to head into the theater where Secretary of Health and Human Services, what is his name, Brian? Robert Kennedy?
HHS, yes.
Yeah, HHS is going to be addressing the leaders of the tribal self-government. And I just wanted to show you guys. This is you don't see these every day in Winnebago, right? They got a little cactus there, and then one of the models is "You Do You." So that's backwards or anything like that, but that's kind of like their slogan. You know, I think Winnebago is it's just more fun or whatever. But I was telling those people last night, I said, your guys' motto, "You Do You," it forgot the N word or the ending word, which is "boo," right? You do you, boo. No, just
I think that happens in the parking lot afterwards. So.
But nonetheless, here down till Thursday, trying to soak in all the information. There'll be some reporting that we'll be doing for the Winnebago Indian News. Probably not this issue, but the next issue. And again, I think that if you have an opportunity, appreciate our special guest coming down from USD to be with us today on Winnebago Talks. Appreciate you guys, MCBKC and Bethany for hosting, and the communications crew for making sure that everything gets out in a timely manner. But you guys got any questions or anything like that?
So you said you're at Gila River?
Yeah. It's the Wild Pass Casino.
Nice.
Yeah. It was so hot yesterday, man. I was about to take in the seminars in the pool. You know what I mean? Because I'm not used to this weather. Woo-wee.
Yeah, I heard that they're already getting into the upper 90s. And
yeah, I think yesterday, especially, they had a turf lawn, but they had, this is registration. I think that there's a lot of tribal leaders down here, and it's a beautiful sight to see. All of them are kind of getting in line right now to head to what they call the plenary sessions. You can see that, I think the event sold out. The conference sold out, which is very admirable to see. But I want to say the Winnebago tribe probably they're serious about it. There's about 19 of us in our delegation.
Wow.
So, nonetheless.
Cool. That is a large pool.
But yeah, I think that we have opportunities to support, especially this year. If you guys have an opportunity to support USD, you never know what's going to happen with the administration coming down from presidential. So, dancing, singing. I appreciate that video that you guys produced. I think that's very cool. If you have an opportunity, share that after Winnebago Talks and just kind of go from there.
Nice. All right. So, do you have any questions for Garan?
No.
No, it's nice, and the image that's coming across is nearly flawless. It's just kind of the audio ticks in every now and then, so we know, as you know, because you're saying we're trying this for the first time, it's definitely not a video issue, if anything, but it looks good, and it, for the most part, you can hear you pretty well.
Yeah, it's coming through clear for everybody that's tuned in.
Yeah.
What I did, Garan, is I have my headphones plugged in individually, so that's why I'm like, I couldn't really hear what you were saying. So
yeah, we're trying something different. You know what I mean? It has the opportunity, it has potential. So maybe next time our special guest doesn't have to come all the way down. I know that drive from Vermilion to Winnebago gets a little cumbersome, but I'm glad that she's here. Hopefully she brought some posters. If not, we'll get those posters out. And next time we can maybe talk to some of the other student organizers for this powwow. 51 years, that's awesome. Congratulations, guys. That's 51 years. I think this is the 50th conference down here. And then there's a lot of anniversary celebrations. It seems like April, Winnebago is having their 33rd. There's just a lot of momentum heading into a lot of these powwow celebrations. Winnebago, what is it? The 159. Yes. So very, very cool to see. And we need to, I was gathering my thoughts about hearing the bad news about the Iowa City powwow, because me and my son used to go over there and we would provide the sound system for them and had the best of memories. It's kind of like a me and my son trip. And unfortunately, we ain't going to be able to make it this year. It's unfortunate,
Yeah. I didn't know about that either. So when you're telling me that, that's something I just heard about as well. Iowa City was also one of those early stops, and just kind of like, wow. Well,
I didn't even know they had one.
oh yeah, yep, number of years.
Yeah,
I
they used
know
to.
SDSU was a few weeks ago too.
Which one? Oh
The
yeah,
SDSU.
SDSU Brookings. Did you get to go to that one?
No, I didn't. I think it
I
was
heard-
bad out, like the weather.
Oh,
Could have been, yeah. So
yeah. So,
Wait.
I guess a couple questions for you. If a person from Winnebago or the area is thinking about going to USD, what are some of the good traits about that, and what are some of the things that maybe potential? Because I got a son that's going to be graduating, and he's going to go to college. So, I guess turn it over to you to let us know a little bit more about USD.
So for me, I graduated during COVID, so I didn't know what I was gonna do, and a lot of things were just uncertain at that time. But I did decide to go to USD just because it is close. It's only about an hour from here. Winnebago is probably the closest tribal community to USD. USD has like a good support for Native students. We have Native student services. They help a lot of students, and they've been really helpful to me. So
What was it? Sergeant Bluff? Is that where you graduated from?
yes.
Oh, okay. Is that like is it just called Sergeant Bluff High School? Because we have to do a show for Westwood. I'm not sure if that's the area, but
Sergeant Bluff's like maybe like 2 towns over from Sloan.
oh, okay.
So
All right.
Westwood's in Sloan.
Nice. I guess you mentioned that you're from the Omaha tribe, and we always try to give an opportunity of what made you decide to go into your major field.
I didn't really know what I wanted to do because originally I wanted to go into dentistry. That didn't really work out, but it was at that time like I was taking public health classes, and it kind of just fit in like with things that I've experienced, and especially with like COVID, like it sparked my interest. So I kind of wanted to make a difference, and yeah, I've just been learning more about public health, and I'm also in the National Guard in Sioux City, so that's also my job there, and I've enjoyed it ever since.
Nice. Awesome. What would you say the top 3 highlights is? Because when I went to USD and I was arena director, one of the things was the food. But what would you say for a person to maybe, I don't know if I want to go this year, what are the top 3 things that are going to take place this weekend?
Oh, so Vermilion's actually going to be pretty lively this weekend as they have the spring football game, and then they also have a big track meet. So even if you don't go to the powwow, like students can still see like the community of Vermilion. It's very nice. So there's going to be a lot going on. So even though we're not allowed to sell food in the arena, there is going to be a taco sale just across the street at the WH Over Museum. So you can get all your Indian tacos there.
Can't go wrong with that. So that's 2 sporting events, and then other events happening, and then the food, and then what would be probably
Well, for us students, it is a big deal because we've been planning it since early October. So it's a time for all of us to get together. A lot of us students and our families come down, and we get to see like the younger kids. So that's always good to see, and just it's a good way for them to kind of experience USD, and yeah.
Definitely. Wow. Again, thank you for joining us here today. We'll get that information. I'll turn it back over to Brian and Bethany, and continue on.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Enjoy the wonderful weather, and don't touch the pokey things on the cactus. That's always good advice. All right. But yeah, so the 51st annual USD, I always called it a powwow, but I know it's Wachipi, so and whatever. But it's 51 years. I'm kind of tripping on that. I knew it had happened for a long time, but I didn't realize it was quite that long. 'cause
Yeah.
that's almost as old as me. So a good time there, and of course all weekend long. Come up on both of the days or either of the days. I have not been to the new facility yet, but I'm sure it is fantastic because the University of South Dakota does have some pretty premier facilities, and I'm sure this is going to be one of them as well. Because, like you said, they had it at the Dome, they had it outdoors, they had it at the high school, I believe, a couple of years, and then also now at the new spot there. So come on up to Vermilion and enjoy the good times that are there.
Going through one more look at your website here. So if you wanted to find more information, you could go to usd.edu/WACIPI, WACIPI.
Yeah, and so with the poster that's out there, we'll be sharing this, of course, on our social media outlets. And like what Garan said, if it isn't already, it'll be placed onto the big screen downtown. And then, of course, we'll see if Christina can attach it to the tribe's website. But if not, the social media usually has a pretty good covering with all of that. And then usually the people that do want to go, they probably already know about it. So, and it's coming up this weekend.
Definitely.
You can see the head staff there, free admission, the prize money that's going to be attached, and the general program of what's going on. So they have the standard grand entry times of 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. and then 1 p.m. on Sunday. So if you've never been to a powwow or a Wachipi, then that is what you really want to see. And I'm sure there's going to be a full program, category dancing. I don't know if there are any types of specials going on or that type of stuff. Usually the families get a hold of committees and that kind of stuff. But you will definitely be able to see a good helping of what happens in and around the big drum, because there's a lot of good stuff there. And then also, I'm not exactly sure who the reigning royalty is for this powwow, but I'm sure they will be representing themselves, and then also the visiting royalty for all of the surrounding powwows and communities, and then those that do travel all across the country. I really like that, because sometimes you can come to, the Wachipi is a good size event, but honestly I consider it kind of one of the smaller powwows, and you'll get somebody there from Oregon, Washington State, and one of the visiting royalty, because their family is taking them on the trek of the powwow trail all across the U.S., and it's nice to have that kind of stop along the way. So
2 days worth too as well. So you got Saturday and Sunday, April 12th and 13th. And as we mentioned, free 99.
Yes. I like you guys' artwork too.
I know, it's beautiful.
Yes, so that was actually done by a USD student. So we like to incorporate a lot of the students. And last year we also had another student paint last year's. So
Very nice.
Beautiful. So if they have any questions, you want to kind of let us know, that email again, and it is on the flyer. So if you're on social media, you can see that it's listed on there as well.
Yep, so tioshbai@coyotes.usd.edu, and I frequently try to look at the email, so I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can.
And I'm sure we can never speak for them and stuff like that, but there is usually plenty of lodging in and around the community, and of course Sioux City is not too far away, but then there's also the other communities as well. So if you do plan on coming and want to stay, there probably will be somewhere for you. You just kind of have to search those outlets there. So all right, if you told someone coming to this event you need to bring this, what would you tell them? Chair, blanket, camera, what would you tell them?
Themselves.
Themselves, okay.
I mean, I think we pretty much have everything else, because it's in the basketball arena, so there's plenty of seating all around. Yeah, or cameras, yeah.
But there's no food sales on site?
So we do have the concession stand. It's just a regular,
like athletic event?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no hate on popcorn and nachos. But you'll have plenty of things like they said in their video. And so also that video is linked to the website, or where can they watch the video again?
Website.
The website, okay. Was it a YouTube video or?
So I was gonna enlarge. That's why I downloaded it. It's
Oh,
attached on the page.
Okay.
It's also on our Facebook. It's on the University of South Dakota's Facebook and Instagram too.
Okay,
right.
Instagram too.
Okay.
Cool.
So anything else then?
Yeah. I think I don't have any questions, but maybe Anna. I know that I think Garan had asked your interest at USD or what's your favorite thing about it. With the years with you being a senior, and with you going to be graduating here soon in May, what is something that you would offer to a young student out there that's possibly interested in going to USD?
So there's other Native students there. We have a good Native community. A lot of Native student orgs. So Teoshpa is like one of the biggest ones. But there's just a lot of room for students to grow throughout their 4 years. Let's see. Does that kind of answer?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay. I feel like I was missing something.
Just to kind of have that community there as well.
Yeah. Oh, there's over 30 tribal nations, so
Awesome.
there's a lot. You'll find friends within like the first week. So.
Cool. Awesome. So before we conclude, do you have any shout outs that you want to send out to anybody or?
I will say if we have any graduates of USD, we are having an alumni dinner the Friday evening. So if you have graduated and you would like to come, you should definitely come.
Awesome.
Yeah, my best friend from high school, she's actually an alumnus of USD, a master's degree as well. Currently, she's the dean of admissions for Western Iowa Tech.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I know that she participates quite a bit with some things and whatever else. So. Yeah.
So the alumni dinner, we're honoring graduates of the School of Education. So this year our theme is mostly focused on education itself. And that's why on the poster you see our theme, education as a seed for a thriving future rooted in tradition. So I think that kind of does like fit in with everything going on. Like even though the things that are going on, we still have that, we're all together and we just really want to honor our people that have dedicated their education to helping others.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yes, indeed. All right.
Awesome. All right, Anna, thank you for coming down and joining us and telling us about this coming 51st annual Wachipi happening this weekend at the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. And this is with the USD, I don't say it wrong, Teoshpe?
Yes.
Student Council, and Saturday and Sunday, April 12th and 13th. And again, if you have any questions, you can email Anna at teoshpe@coyotes.usd.edu. Awesome.
All right. Thanks again
Thank
for
you
coming
guys
down.
for
Thank you.
All right.
And then was we gonna talk about the watch party from Thursday?
Yeah, we
Or
can.
Thursday, Friday, I mean.
We certainly can. So here in Winnebago, you mean the Carlos Trinidad fight?
Yes.
Okay. Here in Winnebago, of course, we had the opportunity to simulcast and broadcast the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship bout from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, literally on the other side of the rock, where Carlos Trinidad Snake took on his opponent, the reigning welterweight champion, Austin Trout. And so we had that watch party down at the big screen here in Winnebago as well, and they showed it also at Winnebago's Casino in the 360 Lounge. I didn't go over there because we were covering the stuff that was happening here, but I do know that people did watch from both locations, and we were able to see all 5 scheduled rounds with what was happening for the Carlos Trinidad fight. And then because it was a split decision, as everybody knows, the judges, the 3-panel member of those judges wanted more, and so according to the contract, according to the rules, they did want another round of fighting. And so of course they had the 6th round, and it went its full duration, its full length, and unfortunately in a split decision, Carlos Trinidad was not awarded the win. But the thing that, and we will be running an article with this in the coming wins, so I don't want to take too much away from it. But a lot of people were, of course, disappointed in the outcome. Never disappointed in Carlos, of course, but they felt that he was robbed, and they felt that, he wasn't given the credit that he was due, because the champion never really touched him.
Yeah.
And Carlos went, and I can't speak for him individually and stuff, and I'm sure maybe they'll do an interview later on Big Boy Sports Show, etc. But Carlos didn't look stressed at all, and it's like, if you're going to be defending your title, defending your belt and all that kind of stuff, shouldn't you want to have a convincing win over any opponent that comes against you, like Carlos? But no, he didn't. Carlos, walked away like, okay, we just did this, and stuff. And Carlos did try to engage with him and stuff like that. I really, because I watched the whole thing, of course, like everyone else did. But unfortunately, Austin Trout comes from the world of boxing. And that's one of the reasons, because somebody did say that, and we quoted them in the article, that this is why I don't watch regular boxing anymore, because all they do is dance around and try not to get hit. And it's like, Carlos was in full command of the center of the ring, and Trout was just basic, like, well, let's wait till it's over. And I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So Austin Trout did not make me a fan. He didn't, and of course, I'm cheering for Carlos, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you're the champion. You should be defending your belt, not trying your hardest not to get hit. So I don't know. That's just me. So whatever.
No, and I'm in full agreement.
Yes.
So ditto.
And if anyone feels differently, I can't convince you to be right. No, I'm just kidding.
I brought DJ Guaranteed back on.
Hey, that's nice. It works. It really does. There's nothing wrong with the video, Garan. Absolutely nothing wrong with the video.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. This is a game changer for Winnebago Talks. Maybe we can start introducing, and for those people that are, I remember Dwayne, he came down and stuff, and a lot of people get good information from Winnebago Talks, but wanted to kind of recap my thoughts about the Carlos Trinidad fight.
Sure, go ahead, because you pay attention way more than I do. So
yeah, I brought out the drone. I think that was probably the largest showing, and I was making mention, me and John Snowball, when we kind of had that thought and feeling to do something like that for Winnebago. It was during COVID, and we were like, what about if we get this LED screen downtown and stuff? And those type of events that Carlos brought the community together, all the fans, friends, Winnebago tribal members and stuff. Man, that was freaking awesome, And then him holding the Winnebago tribal flag, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, man. So very proud of that young man. He promised that he's going to keep going, and we look forward to that. I think that my take on the fight itself, he had that flash knockdown. He actually knocked down Austin Trout. And to be honest, man, I did not know that they were going to go another round. I was like, what is that? Is that even possible? I thought somebody said Conor McGregor jumped up there and said, have him go another round. I don't know. But it must be in the rules. You know what I mean? Yes. It's a sanction. And it seemed like one of the tribes from the East Coast sanctioned the bout, and I want to say it's Mohegan, and which was pretty cool. So
yeah, they announced all of that at the beginning of the fight. Yes,
right. But nonetheless, man, excited to see that guy again back in the ring. I know that there's bare knuckle fighting going to be taking place down in. If you're a fan of bare knuckle fighting, it's kind of a newer sport. Back in the early 1900s and stuff, it used to be prominent and stuff, but. I think this is when that got sanctioned not too long ago, maybe about 6-7 years ago. And it's just taken the world by storm, And I think that if you're a fan of that, he's in that realm. He's making a name for himself. And again, I think everybody should be proud of him. Good job.
Oh, absolutely. And again, I just want to reiterate the point, Carlos is a very formidable fighter. And, because when he fought last year against Peg, if I'm pronouncing his last name, I think it was Pague, so Peg, and he fractured his jaw, and it's like, because of the exchanges that they were having, and Peg was blasting away too, Carlos, had to definitely defend himself and whatever else, but it was more of what people wanted to see. And then like this time around, you could see Carlos was being aggressive, and it was like Austin was like, I mean, it was like, how can I not get hit? And I'm like, dude, it's like, that's what people, why they, why boxing pay-per-views are not what they once were, because what is it, Mayweather? That is one of the most boring things to watch in the world. It is. It's like,
catch me if you can.
It's like, nah, you're supposed to be out there trying to fight and hit one another. And it's like,
Did you guys see that fight before? I mean,
oh my gosh, yeah.
All of them, the women and all of them, exactly. What was his last name? I mean, because the guy in the white shorts and the guy in the black shorts, the guy in the white shorts was killing it in the first 2 rounds, because he even shut his eye and all that kind of stuff, and the guy in the black shorts came back around and won. It was like, oh my gosh. And see, that's what I mean. That's why people like bare knuckle fighting, because I mean, they're battling it out. They're they're doing what they want to do. And the same thing with the women. OMG, it's like they were just all out battle and stuff like that. And then Carlos didn't get the chance to do that. And I can't say it enough. And some people will probably disagree with me wholeheartedly, but it's like, if you're the champion defending your belt, defend it. It's like, get the convincing win. You had a extra round thrown on because the judges didn't even believe in you, and it's like, that's not a winner. So
yeah, he's definitely a winner in our eyes.
Well,
Yes.
not Trout. That's what I mean.
No.
Yeah. Oh, Carlos.
Yes.
Carlos. I agree with him wholeheartedly. He said, I won that fight, and as he was saying that, and I agreed with him. I did. It's like, because he was out there actually trying to do what they're supposed to do, and Trout was, don't hit me. It's like, whatever.
Yeah. There was a part in there where I heard them say something about him flinching. Like, he kept flinching. I was like, he was.
Yeah.
Because he was like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because Carlos had it. And I don't think Carlos was ever not in the middle of the ring, and Trout always had his back to the, to the outside of the circle and stuff. So it's like, yeah, the winner was clear in that. And like what you said, he had the knockdown early on. It's like, why wasn't that enough? Because that 6th round was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna try to look like I'm doing something, Trout meaning Trout, and it's like, man, dude, whatever. So then his interview comments afterward, well, what are you gonna do after this? I don't know. And it's like, well, whatever. It's like, go fight and go back to your, dancing around, whatever and stuff. It's like, bare knuckles, something different.
yep, Carlos was too much for him. He wants to downgrade his weight class now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sorry. Yeah,
No, exactly. That's true. I forgot all about that part of it.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, we're armchair quarterbacks really mad about everything.
Right. I mean, Austin Trout, he took on Canelo Alvarez. He's going to be fighting. Canelo is going to be fighting, and he always fights Cinco de Mayo. Then he's on the verge of trying to fight Terrence Crawford, who's from Omaha. And that's going to be in September if all goes well and stuff. But they said it was off, and they said it was on, and it's off and on. I'm not sure. In boxing and stuff, it's kind of getting crazy. With Jake Paul and everything too, there's some purists out there that think that's a whole sham, and it's kind of disrespectful for the game and stuff. But he's putting butts in the seats, and it's the age of viral boxers and stuff. So it's a pretty interesting time for boxing in general. Bare knuckle fighting championship series. That's a new kind of market for everybody, and it seems like there's gaining a lot of fans. First time in Dubai, and so Carlos truly did make history because that was the first time that they've been over there. So, but Austin Trout, you got to give it to him. He was up there, Canelo. I think he fought Jamal Charlo, Laura. There's some big names out there and stuff that he fought, and then he fought Carlos, a guy from Winnebago. What I mean?
Right.
So it's just like Carlos is right there, guys, and he's just gonna explode from here.
Yeah, that's the win. People look at things like in the hardest sense of win and loss, and it's like, I can't give the win to Trout, and by the same token, I can't give the L to Carlos. You know what I mean? It's like, wasn't there like some mechanism for a draw? It's like, because to me, Trout did not win that bout, and Carlos sure as heck did not lose. And it's like, but how do you do that to someone's record? For what sake?
The judges robbing and stuff, and they always say, the coaches and everything too, is like, if you have the championship name, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. So they always tell like the underdogs to come in there and don't leave it to the judges. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes on, as far as media deals, all that stuff, so I don't want to say none of that took place, but, just knock them out and then there's no question.
Right, right. And but again, to that point, that's where Trout brought in the boxing dance. And it's like, I can't, it's like Mayweather, that I don't even want to watch it. It's like, what? I want to see some guy, skipping around up against the rope, trying, and it's like, swing at someone, do some kind of thing. Because exactly like what you said, the previous fights, including the women, there were closed eyes, there was blood, there was all this other stuff. Yeah, and it's like they look like, okay, these people fought one another, and then they still had, they shook hands and they talked about respecting one another and stuff like that. But in this, that's why I could hear the disdain in Carlos's voice. Yeah, of course he just got handed, his first loss, whatever. But it's like, dude, that's why I got to say it. Trout did not win. He did not win. No.
All right. Well, we look forward to the story in the Winnebago Indian. Let's go.
Very, very nice.
All it is pictures, not.
I did take some drone footage. It's pretty cool. I was hoping to capture like the when you knocked him down and stuff. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, it turned out pretty good. I have to edit it and get that out and stuff. But so. I guess how are things back at home? How's the weather?
It's actually warming up now.
Yes.
Yesterday was very cool simply because it was really, really windy. And then that made it cold. And then we resurrected the wind car.
That's what you guys were talking about.
Yes, we're out there. Me, Tyler, Kevin, Christina. We were performing the seance. Not just kidding. But it runs. It's alive. Yeah, so the wind car is up and running.
She's hanging on.
Yes.
Yeah. We have to give her a name.
Oh, I don't know. I'll leave that to Tyler because she's usually behind the wheel. So.
But I think that yesterday I had an opportunity just to recap some of the things that are happening down here at self-governance and stuff. There's a big delegation, and that's for a reason. We're eyeing law enforcement. I think that now down here with the local council. There's just a lot of correspondence, but with that Trump administration, there's a lot of things that are different. And in this next session that we get to go to, we get to hear that guy. And I think that the HHS secretary, I think a lot of the tribal leaders probably have a lot of questions for him. And so I'm gonna be attending that session and give you guys a kind of a report on how that went for us and for Native nations in general. So. Got to meet a lot of people yesterday. Chance Rush, he's always crazy and stuff. Got to visit him a little bit. Kind of like the first guy that I seen when I pulled up. He's the MC. Then last night, got to meet some people from what they call Cherokee Films, and they're from Oklahoma, man. But they're doing some big things. They got a sound stage, got a studio you can rent.
Wow.
Do this
nice.
Stuff called Viola, and they had a panel yesterday. Then there's another one called Gala River Broadcast Corporation, and let's see, they're around here. I haven't checked them out yet, but they formed during the pandemic, and one of the things that they wanted to get out is the information for the people and stuff. But of course, the Phoenix area is a huge market. They tapped into that, so I think that for Winnebago in the area, we might start. I might come back and see if we can start eyeing like the Sioux City market, because we're doing video, audio. I've been reading a lot about radio. Right, radio is a good way to get the reach out there. It's still the #1 reach as far as getting information. Average Americans, they tune into radio at least once or twice a week and stuff. So I think that's very important. We have the median and stuff, so I'm going to come back probably pretty excited, pretty motivated and stuff. And we'll see what happens in the future for Big Voice Radio, and just maybe we even start like Winnebago Films or something like that. I think that was pretty interesting. So make connections. There is an app out there. It's called FNX, and it has a lot of it's kind of what they described as the native Netflix. So if you have an opportunity, it's an app. It's called FNX, and your Apple or your Google store, check it on out and see if there's any films our hope is maybe we can get some films on there from the Winnebago area.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a lot of creators out there and a lot of people with good ideas that need the education and the pathway to know how to make their dreams become a reality. So there's a lot of stuff there.
All right, are we ready for the answer is?
The answer is yes.
Yes. Did you know?
No.
No?
I don't.
Okay. All right. So Garan and Bethany. All right. Because Tyler's not in with it. All right. Okay. So the answer B, this being milled. All right. I need to adjust my glasses because I'm old and I need to see. So
Is it the first one to answer, or is Bethany gonna leave the room? How should we
no.
do it?
How we can do it?
Because you're online, you can both stay, and if you choose the same answer, you choose the same answer, but if not, then not. So okay. So question number 1. Last night the Florida men won the NCAA D1 basketball championship. What is their mascot?
The Florida?
Yep.
Is it multiple choice?
Yes, there's multiple choice if you need it.
Aren't they known as the Knowles? Seminoles?
There's multiple choice if you need it, or if you want to say the answer outright, that's up to you.
I'll go with Seminoles.
Okay, so Karen sings Seminoles. Okay, you want the multiple choice?
I'll take the multiple choice.
The multiple choice is A, Hurricanes, B, Gators, C, Seminoles, D, Buccaneers.
Dang. I'm saying a gator.
The Gators?
Yeah.
And the answer is Florida Gators.
Oh.
Yes, you got it right, Bethany.
I got it right.
Yeah, Florida State is
I for sure thought guaranteed got that one because he said Seminoles.
Florida State is the Seminoles. Florida State. Florida Gators.
Florida State. Oh, okay.
Yes, and the Miami Hurricanes. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a pro team. Okay, question number 2 then. Who won the March Madness NCAA championship last year?
Ooh. I need multiple choice.
Multiple
Yeah,
choice?
You know what? Right?
No.
Was it A, Duke, B, Stanford, C, Wake Forest, D, UConn? Who won last year?
Dang, man. I got to pare mine down. A and D. I'm trying to think here.
I'm going to go with UConn.
That's letter D.
Yes.
Oh, man. Was it UConn? Trying to think here. Last year, I'm gonna go with UConn too.
Okay, both AD, and you are both correct. All right.
I was almost went with Duke.
Yeah, they were in it though, just like this year. And oh, don't even get me started. We watched that game. How do you lose a 13-point lead? Anyway. All right, question number 3 then. Later this month, Winnebago's Casino Resort will be holding its anniversary celebration. In what year did it open for business?
Oh, man.
Winnebago's. In what year did it open for business?
Do we have multiple choice? You got to know.
Yes,
All right.
multiple choice if you need it.
I'm thinking 95. Right.
I'm not good at math.
No. So you said Winnebago's or Winnebingo?
Winnebago's.
Okay, go ahead.
Multiple choice?
Yeah.
All right. 1991, 1992, 1993, 1994.
1991.
91 says. All right. So A and B, and the answer is 1992. Yes.
I was one number
Remember, it's
off.
33.
Oh, I was 34.
Nope, 33 years. 33 years. So that is guaranteed. So you guys are tied. 2
They
to
had
2.
a big go on Saturday, and unfortunately, nobody that I know won. There would be signs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, question number 4 then. In the last issue of the Winnebago Indian News, we featured which clan atop the masthead? Which clan was on the masthead of the last issue of the Winnebago Indian News? No multiple choice. You just supposed to know.
Pigeon.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Pigeon.
Pigeon?
'Cause we talked about it, and you mentioned that there was no. I don't want to say
Clan
surviving.
members.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and you are both correct.
Yay.
All right, so we're still tied. Then finally, question number 5. Last week, the Nebraska State Senator for our district visited the Winnebago Tribal Council informally. From which city does he hail? Multiple choice if you need it.
I need the multiple choice.
Okay. A. Rosalie. B. Decatur. C. Pender. D. Wayne. Where is Glenn Meyer from? He represents the district that we are currently in the Nebraska State unicameral. So he is a senator for the state of Nebraska. In which city does he come from? Rosalie, Decatur, Pender, Wayne. Did you guess, Garan?
I said Winnebago, but I want to take mine back.
Okay, he is not from Winnebago. No.
I thought there was somebody that lived on the outskirts in kind of a farmland, area. That's what I thought.
No. So the choices are Rosalie, Decatur, Pender, Wayne. Where is he from?
Dang.
Go ahead, Bethany. You take it.
I'm gonna say Decatur.
Decatur.
I'll say Pender.
And the correct answer is he is from Pender.
Oh.
Yes. In a rural area, of course, he said his family, they were farmers and had a bunch of land and all this kind of stuff and whatever, but technically he is from Pender. So.
Pender.
How'd that visit go?
It was pretty good. Their conversation lasted, I think, a lot longer than they expected it to. And again, it was an informal conversation, because they didn't meet due to the funerals that were occurring at the time. But they had a decent conversation. So, yeah. And at the same time, the most noticeable part of it was he, as the state senator for the district, and don't get me wrong, I think we're District 17, I think so. But if the number's not right, at the same time, the geographical location still exists. But he's the first one to visit because his predecessor did not. She didn't want anything to do with us and whatever. So, it's just nice to have somebody at least acknowledge the existence of the tribe.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah. Oh, there's MCE.
Oh,
but, yeah.
And MCE was commenting on the.
Yeah, he said he schooled us.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I only hit 4 questions. I hit the last 4.
Oh, okay.
And I answered before those guys did, but I answered the chat. So.
Oh, I can't see the chat, so. But yes, indeed, that's it. So the answer is.
Full function here, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. So, all right.
All right. Well.
Any shout outs or anything?
Yeah, just we kind of touched on it, and so just to remind everybody of the programming that we have throughout the week, but we do have our sports show, so we're on a bye week this week. So next week they'll be here in the studio live at 5 Wednesdays for the Big Boy Sports Talk Show, and I'm sure they'll talk about some of those amazing events that took place last week.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. The Trinidad fight, they were both there and watching and stuff, and I mean, yeah, that'll probably be the lion's share. And maybe at some point, Carlos will come up to Winnebago again. So I don't even know if they've returned to the USA. Probably by now, you would assume, because that's quite a bit of time over in Dubai. So they were probably very fired up to get back. Plus, the whole Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship event, it was a 2-day event. So, of course, Carlos's fight was on the first day, and then they had an entire card of events on the second day as well. So,
really awesome. Oh.
Yeah.
The lady that represented us, though, was actually from Bancroft. There's similar family and stuff, but she was from Bancroft. The predecessor to Glenn Meyer. Yes.
I guess as far as the shout out and stuff, I think that there's a lot of things coming around the corner. I know that graduations, so this is kind of like the time for everybody to finish out. So high school, you're talking about college, those people that are in the master's, secondary education and stuff's coming down to the wire. Keep your head in the book. Keep, now is the time where they might need a little extra motivation. They talk about, even over at college, they said make sure you eat right, make sure you get sleep, because all of that information that you have to have has to be stored in your memory for when test time comes and stuff. So everybody, including our special guests today, appreciate them. And yeah, man, it's unfortunate that Iowa City is not going to have their powwow, University of Iowa, but all the other powwow celebrations. I have the honor to do University of Omaha, their powwow, and they right after the administration took place and everything, they called me and they said we might not have it, so I think that Cornelius he's going to be coming up and talking about that powwow celebration that's going to be happening Easter weekend right after USD, and then see if we can get a representative from UNL, because we want to support these student organizations. Everybody that's doing their secondary education, high school education, 8th grade, Head Start, whatever it may be, Educare, keep your head in the books, keep going, guys.
Yes, indeed. All right. DJ Bethany.
I gave mine. I want to just give a additional shout out to Carlos. He is the champ. He took that win in my eyes. So.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And so to everybody that had a hand in putting that together, and of course we did in the article continue to express our gratitude to the families of Pat Grayhair for allowing and giving their permission for the event to continue to move forward, because Pat probably would have wanted to watch too. So may continue to rest and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, we appreciate all our listeners for joining us for another episode of Winnebago Talks. Safe travels to Guaranteed out there.
Yes.
And also, we have our show, The Big Hour, tomorrow over the noon hour. So make sure you join us here on the Big Voice Radio. And if you're able to, keep an eye out for our top 5. I'll probably be doing another giveaway. Not sure what I'll give away yet, but
okay.
I gave away a T-shirt last week. So.
Oh, before we go, Garan, did you do your concert review?
Yep.
I need that.
Yep, we'll make sure that get that to you, so that we can get it edited. And Jelly Roll is the headline for that review and stuff. And just kind of FYI, we always kind of preface with saying that the tribe didn't pay for us to go to the concerts or anything like that. We just kind of do it on our own time, and
of course,
we're thinking about that. You know what I mean? So, but that took place a couple months ago, and I still wanted to do a review. I just have to get my thoughts together and got it together.
All right, cool. We'll look forward to that.
Awesome. Have a beautiful day, everybody.
Yeah. See you next time.